Hello everyone, and welcome to my EastEnders Soap Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. George Knight's brothers will be introduced in a new story on EastEnders. As George continues to investigate his identity, the BBC has confirmed that Deo Koleosho, Casualty, and Jonathan Niati, Ted Lasso, will be making appearances in EastEnders. The Vic bartender recently found out that Eddie Knight, his adopted father, killed his biological father to keep him from being reunited with his birth parents. George was devastated to hear that his biological mother had passed away recently from Angela, a friend of his parents, as he dug into his background. In following scenes, Angela will make her way back to Walford, taking George's brothers Kabina, Deo Koleosho, and Kojo Asare, Jonathan Niati, with her from Ghana. In the end, George will consent to look after his brother Kojo in Walford after Kabina becomes overwhelmed and leaves for Ghana. The neurodivergent actor Koleosho will portray the autistic character Kojo. After being torn apart by tragedy, producer Chris Clenshaw has hinted that the three brothers will need to deal with a lot of complex emotions. I'm enjoying every second of working with the cast and crew, it's been truly amazing. For Kojo and his family, it's an amazing plot, Koleosho remarked. It is a fantasy that has materialized. There are a lot of surprises, and I'm seizing every chance to collaborate artistically with other gifted performers. I am really honored to appear in EastEnders, a British soap opera that I grew up watching religiously, stated his new co-star Niati. Being a member of George Knight's on-screen family and plot is wonderful. I'm excited for viewers to see Kabina and his younger brother Kojo when they make their debut appearance in Albert Square. Koleosho will continue to feature in EastEnders full-time, but Niati will only be appearing for a brief period of time. Rice Caldwell's demise may have been hinted to by EastEnders, as two unlikely characters would band together and reveal him. Both of the characters were aware of his deceit and suspected that he was plotting to trick the locals, if not outright defraud them. Rice's financial problems have gotten worse to the point where, in a recent episode, he finally told partner Sonia Fowler that he owed money and couldn't pay for Debbie, his former wife, to live in a care facility. A few days later, he seemed to kill Debbie, which resulted in the murders of Sonia and him the following week. Additionally, he has been attempting to defraud locals of their money by pretending to be an investor in order to win over Sharon Watts and Phil Mitchell. Now, since he doesn't have the money to provide Phil the money he is seeking, this has backfired. Additionally, Eve Onwin had given him £2,000 for an engagement ring, which Sonia later demanded be returned. Eve turned it in, but she hasn't gotten the money back. Suki Panesar, Eve's fiancée, is enraged with Rice and unhappy that he hasn't reimbursed her for the ring. When she questioned Eve about it on Thursday's show, Eve assured her that Rice had the money and that she would receive it shortly. However, Suki wasn't so sure, admitting that she was spying on him and not trusting him an inch, since she didn't think he had the money. After hearing her statements, Phil realized that the investment payout Rice had given him recently had to be Eve's money. Upon realizing that Rice had misled him over the investment and that he had cashed out, Phil did not waste any time in locating him. Phil disclosed that he was aware there was no investment and that Eve was the one who had received the money. This would imply that Phil desired to return and that his money was lost. He then launched an assault on Rice and promised to hurt him bad if he did not pay by Monday. Is it possible that Suki and Phil will reveal to one another what they know about Rice during his attempted escape from Walford, which Sonia stopped? It will only be a matter of time until Rice's falsehoods and scams are exposed, given that he is scheduled to be arrested next week. After Linda's breakdown, EastEnders featured an unexpected kiss between Johnny Carter and Callum Highway. After Linda was taken to the hospital after downing an entire bottle of vodka and nearly choking on her own vomit, tensions were high in the most recent episode of the BBC soap opera. She had a furious fight with Johnny before these upsetting scenes, during which he expressed his wish that she had passed away rather than Mick. In tonight's, August 14th, episode, Johnny was upset with Gina Knight for letting her have a drink with Bernie Taylor since she had lost sight of Linda. Even as Elaine Peacock pleaded with him to be reasonable, he gave Gina the order to move out. Johnny, Elaine, and Gina discovered that Linda would be all right in the hospital. When Johnny saw her, he apologized for his abrasive remarks. "I was not serious. Mom, I love you, and I should not have left you alone," he said to her. In a devastating exchange, Linda confided in her son that she was disappointed that she was still alive, and Johnny, overcome with guilt, comforted her. He assured her, "You're going to be okay." Later on, a distraught Johnny went to Bernie in public and accused her of having almost killed Linda. In previous scenes, Bernie pulled out a bottle of vodka and invited Linda to join him for a private conversation regarding Keanu Taylor. As Johnny stormed out of the cafe, Callum stopped him. After their dispute, Johnny admitted to Linda that he felt guilty for her drinking, and he insisted that she testify in Dean Wick's trial for Keanu's murder. Callum told Johnny not to be so hard on himself and that he had nothing to do with Linda's alcoholism. The policeman remarked, today was a hiccup, and that all Johnny could do was be there for his mother. How fortunate she is to have you. Callum drew forward to Johnny and said, "You're unique, Johnny." After the endearing exchange, Callum planted a kiss, but he quickly withdrew, saying Johnny he was still in love with Ben Mitchell. Subsequently, he consoled an embarrassed Johnny, advising him to let go of the uncomfortable kiss and make amends with Gina. After returning to the hospital, Johnny apologized to Elaine and acknowledged his need for his family. He told Linda the truth about his personal problems once more and urged her to get professional assistance for her addiction. "I'm gonna be here every step of the way," he declared. Gina, meantime, was determined to move out. Unaware of her involvement with George's son Jr., she discussed with her father George the possibility of spending some time at her mother Cindy Beale's house. After receiving poison pen letters, Linda Carter from EastEnders struggles to maintain sobriety, which has a worrisome effect on her health. As Linda Carter struggles with her sobriety, Johnny Carter is set to take charge in the next episodes of EastEnders. While Dean Wicks, played by Matt D'Angelo, is imprisoned for the holiday season murder of Keanu Taylor, portrayed by Danny Walters, Kelly Bright's character, the Queen Vic landlady, is currently dealing with anonymous threatening letters. On Thursday, August 8th, the identity of the person who was sending the letters was revealed as Bernie Taylor, Claire Norris, who has been working with Dean to force Linda to back out of her testimony, leaving her terrified. The following week, Linda's drunkenness spirals out of control and puts her in danger, which causes her sorrow to intensify. Linda has her pretrial meeting on Monday, August 12th, but she is having trouble staying sober after receiving more poison pen notes. As this is going on, Bernie visits the evil Dean in prison. He tells Bernie to step it up with the letters to exert more pressure on Linda, so she begins texting as well. After receiving threats, Linda is shaken but quickly realizes that the sender has her phone number. She then informs her son Johnny Carter, Charlie Suff, that she will not be attending the conference. Johnny takes matters into his own hands in a frantic attempt to calm Linda down long enough to get her there, but how can he get his scared mother through her court appearance? Soon after, a prosecutor named Tamara begins questioning Linda, who is inebriated. What will she say? The following day, Linda has had alcohol all night, and Johnny is unsure of how to assist her. Gina Knight, Francesca Henry, advises him to assist his mother by using his legal knowledge, and she will take care of Linda. But when attorney Johnny comes back to the Vic, he and Linda have a heated argument. After the argument with his mother, Johnny calms down later, but when he gets home, he discovers Linda in a potentially fatal scenario. Will Linda make it through? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.